what do you believe is the biggest issue facing the 12th District, and what is your plan on correcting it?
Hi, so my name is Ray Linsenmayer. I just got into this race, actually, just briefly, about 6 weeks ago to the day. I spent the last year organizing around Allegheny County and Westmoreland County and Beaver County, working with the committees, working with the party, recruiting candidates because Democrats weren't that organized out here. Ended up winning about 28 races throughout northern Allegheny County over the 2017 cycle. After the race, I got into this race. So I appreciate all of you being here. This is my first candidate forum, and it's great to see so many new people and so many old friends as well. So I think the most important things that are affecting us here in the Pennsylvania 12th are the opioid epidemic, which in my view is the scourge of the entire area and in all parts of the country, like the Pennsylvania 12th, and jobs, especially as they relate to automation. Now, with the opioid epidemic, I think it's really important that we recognize that Congress has actually had something to do with how bad this has become. Congress was the group that passed a law saying that doctors couldn't be held responsible for giving pain medication or too much pain medication for people as long as they did it in what they called good faith. The Congress was also responsible for blocking a piece of legislation that would have simply required doctors to be trained and to have information on ways to help their patients get over their pain that weren't opioids. Congress blocked that law on behalf of the pharmaceutical companies. Congress also recently passed a law that said that the law enforcement could not stop large shipments of opioids coming into America that were going to suspicious entities, suspicious consumers. Those are all things that can be done to fix this problem. Also, I think most importantly, we have to take the stigma out of this. It has to be okay for these people to say, look, I have a problem and I need help. Every family that I know has been touched by this. My family's been touched by this. Canvassing and working throughout the area over the last year, I've met no family that hasn't either been touched by this or has had someone close to them touched by this. This is something we have to aim at head on, and Congress can do something like that about this, because Congress was one of the reasons that we had this.
1 minute.
With jobs and automation, we'll talk about this more, I'm sure, as we go through today, but job training is something that we have to do. We have to be able to do proactive job training. I've been laid off in my life. I'd imagine a few of the candidates up here as well have been laid off in their lives. I didn't grow up with very much money, and I've had my companies close on me. I know how difficult it is to go out and get a new job and to train for a new job when you're laid off. Job training should be much more proactive. It should be focused much more on the jobs that are going to be out there, the 21st century jobs, and the jobs that individuals are going to have once they end up getting let go by their companies. We'll talk about all that stuff later on, but thanks very much again for being here. I look forward to talking with you all as the evening goes by.
My name is Beth Tarasi. I've been a practicing attorney for the past 27 years. I have had my ups and downs in life, and I understand this district. One of the main things that needs to be done in this district is we need to do exactly what they're doing in Allegheny County in the 12th. They are bringing jobs to Allegheny County. They are working with companies, and they are making a revival of Pittsburgh. I've spoken to Rich Fitzgerald and the people in Pittsburgh, and they tell me that Congressman Rothfus does not give them the time of day. That's wrong. As your congresswoman, I will be giving them the time of day, and anybody, any company, the time of day that I can convince to bring jobs and opportunity to this 12th Congressional District. I agree with Ray. The opioid crisis is very, very serious, and we have to work to get over that. We have to change the laws in Congress, and we have to put the hammer down on Big Pharma. We have to go after Big Pharma. They should not be pumping this into our society. It's wrong. I think that Josh Shapiro is doing, he's our Attorney General, he is doing a wonderful job. But again, when you talk to him and you ask him, is Keith Rothfus helping you in any of this? He'll say, no, I don't get any help in this district from Keith Rothfus. That's wrong, okay? That's wrong. We need a fighter. I am a fighter. I am going to take this to task. We need health care for all, okay? We need health care for all. Whatever mode, business mode it comes in, single payer or single payer with private option, that'll work. We're going to get this done. I am going to get this done for you. This is what I do. I am a trial attorney. I solve problems every day, and I want to do it for you because I'm upset. I am jumping out of my career, and I'm getting into this for you, for my constituents. This has to be done. We need a proactive person to get in there and to get things done right away, and that's what I intend to do. And there are other issues, and I want to hear it from you because I want to get it done, and I want to get it done for you. And we're going to do this, and we are going to beat Keith Rothfus, and we are going to make America, America again.
My name is Tom Prigg. I'm the veteran running in the 12th District for Congress. My background is a reflection of what's happened in our district. What is the biggest problem? All you have to do is drive through the counties. All you have to do is pull over and go into a coffee shop and talk to people. People are scared. People are scared about living tomorrow. Yeah, we talked about jobs. That is absolutely true. There's no infrastructure left. There's no tax base left. They are worried about losing their health care. They're worried about dying of diseases. They cannot protect their families. They cannot buy meals. They're worried about tomorrow's dinner. This is why people were pro-Trump. It was the coal mines. It wasn't coal, it was jobs, right? It was about our livelihood, our paychecks. It was about this has worked for so many generations. Why can't it keep working now? When you talk to people, and I talked to a coal miner, and I said to him, let me tell you something. Let's say we keep your coal mine, right? And you still have a job. But I bring in renewable energy. I bring in a new job, let's say solar, right? In 2016, 600,000 jobs, as opposed to coal, right now 47,000. Would you be okay with that? It doesn't wipe out your coal, but it provides these jobs. He looked at me, and he said, but what I do is really good. What I do, I've been doing for 30 years. And this is the problem. The problem is I would have to learn something new. I didn't like school before. I didn't like the idea that I'm going to start at the bottom. So we got to address that issue. It isn't the issue that I love coal, I love breathing in coal dust. It's not believing that there is no other economy. Obviously there is. We've moved into a digital economy. It's about addressing people's fears. And this is how we do it. We need two obstacles. One is, how do we train people, and how can we convince people that when you train for a new job, you will not be making near poverty wages at entry level? That's the first one. Second one, we need to incentivize industries. It's nice to say that we can just plop in industries. Hey, look, this is happening here. Why would anybody take an industry and put it in Somerset? Why? What is there? What infrastructure? We need economic infrastructures. One is you change how subsidies work. You incentivize by giving subsidies to how economically challenged an area is. put on a sliding scale. Now it's a monetary incentivization to move in. We have to rethink about infrastructure. It's bipartisan. Well, we're fine bipartisan fixing bridges, roads, stoplights. How about the boarded up buildings in every town in every county of this district? How about improving the downtown areas, giving new business owners a nice place to move in, and a place that people love taking their families down to, communities. Because this is what will bring in new businesses, that brings in new jobs, that starts dollars circulating within the community. That means a tax base, that means education can be boosted, that means we can improve the roads, and we can put dinners on people's table. That's what they want. That's what people need. This is how we do it. You have to have actual ideas, actual solutions to do it. Sure, yes, we need jobs. But how are we going to get them? And that's the difference. This is where we need to look at. This is how we have to tell who we're going to vote for. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here tonight. I'm so encouraged and optimistic and energized for the year to come. My name's Aaron Anthony. I'm a former high school English teacher and an education researcher at the University of Pittsburgh. At 35 years old, I'm part of the first generation of Americans in history that's not doing as well as our parents economically. And let me tell you the problem, the number one problem facing Pennsylvania's 12th district is Keith Rothfus. It is Keith Rothfus and everything he stands for, because we have a series of crises going on, and everything that he stands for is at the root of those crises. And so one is one of opportunity. People my age, people born between 1980 and 2000, have lower rates of employment, lower rates of home ownership. 1 in 5 of us is in poverty. And on top of it all, we have the heaviest student debt burden in history. We don't have as much money as our parents did at the same age. And that's a fundamental breakdown of the American promise of opportunity and economic mobility. And Keith Rothfus and his policies do nothing but exacerbate that problem. And so when opportunities break down, we lose hope. We lose hope in our democratic institutions. And I think that is the number 2 problem facing us, is the systematic dismantling of the democratic institutions that we ensure to guarantee a safe and fair and equal playing field for everyone so that everyone has a chance. When those institutions break down, the most vulnerable among us are hit hardest. The elderly, sick, disabled, the poor, our veterans who fought to basically ensure that we have those opportunities and rely on the governmental systems to take care of them when they come back home. And when those systems break down, we're letting everybody else down. And Keith Rothfus is at the center of all of those problems in the systematic dismantling of our institutions. And when we lose trust that our institutions are looking out for us, you and me, and everyone who is, let's say, regular, normal, working-class people in Pennsylvania's 12th district, and we lose trust that our representatives are not looking out for working-class families, but instead putting the interests of the elite, the donor class, and corporations above ours, we lose trust in democracy itself. And so we have a fundamental crisis of democracy. We don't show up to vote, and then we get something like the 2016 election. But the good news is we're all here tonight because we don't buy it. We're here tonight because we know there's hope, we know there's change, and we know this is the farthest that this pendulum swings to the right. We're already seeing this happen. We're already seeing this in action. And so I think the biggest problem facing Pennsylvania's 12th district is Keith Rothfus, and I believe this is the year we see that problem solved.